Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, we're going to be talking about Vasili Podkolzin and how good he'll be with the Vancouver Canucks. Vasili Podkolzin was drafted 10th overall in the 2019 NHL draft by the Vancouver Canucks. So was that pick worth it, and how good will he be with the Vancouver Canucks in the next few years? Watch till the end to find out. Now, Vasili Podkolzin is a very unique talent. He was looked at as the consensus third overall pick throughout most of the NHL season. I personally was not that high on him throughout the whole season. I never had him at number 3, but a lot of credible guys and a lot of credible scouts did have him in the top 3 and top 5 at least. He had a lot of hype around that, especially November to December phase, and after the Lincoln Gretzky Cup, the hype train for him was just off the charts. And of course, now we're after the draft. We know the final results. Being pegged as the third overall pick for a long time, and up being down to 10th overall to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, in the whole grand scheme of things, dropping from 3 to 7 is bad, but if you consider his stock just before the draft, it's actually a pretty good spot for him to be at. Some people said that he might be outside the top 15. I thought he'd go 16th to Colorado, so his stock at that point was not looking too good, but Vancouver does take a risk on him and takes him with a top 10 pick. Now, Vasili Podkolzin is a Russian right-wing prospect who just now turned 18 years old, just a few days ago as I'm recording this. He is at SKA St. Petersburg, and he went 10th overall, of course, to the Vancouver Canucks. But when it comes to Vasili Podkolzin's whole year overall, again, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride throughout. But again, the hype that he had was just amazing. And it really is deserved, because the talent that he has is definitely one of the best in the draft. One of the main reasons why his stock ended up dropping the way it did was because of the lack of sample size. He played a numerous amount of leagues throughout the season, and the tournaments that he did play, the tournaments that he was really known for playing good in, weren't really the best on paper. Now, the Lincoln Gretzky Cup back last season is where he really got this hype going like he did, and the World Juniors were looked at as a tournament that he'd really excel in and dominate. He went to the U20s and with Team Russia was pretty decent, not the greatest, but okay, and as a 17-year-old, that is pretty solid. And the U18s, a tournament that he was looked to dominate in, he was really average at best for a lot of those games. And that was one of the main reasons why his stock ended up dropping. And of course, you play in the VHL, the NHL, whatever it might be. He played in a ton of different leagues, so a lot of different scouts didn't get the big picture on him completely. When it came to his season stats, he ended up playing the most games in the VHL, getting 14 games played and getting 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points in that time. Also played 12 MHL games, getting 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points. In the KHL, he ended up playing 3 games in St. Petersburg, which is miraculous. Ended up getting 0 points, but not given too much of an opportunity anyways. In the U18 World Juniors with Team Russia, ended up playing 7 games, getting 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. In the U20 World Juniors with Team Russia, he got 7 games played as well, getting 3 assists for 3 points. Now, when it comes to Vasili Podkolzin's ceiling and NHL potential, it definitely is one of the best in the draft. The skill that he has definitely puts into his potential, and you can definitely see how he could become a top 5 player coming out of this draft especially. Again, these skills that he has are amazing. When it comes to his potential, I would give him a first-line explosive winger potential, a guy that, again, can fulfill first-line duties, but also be amazing at it too. A guy that can play amazingly on the power play, but also very solid 5-on-5. Now, just like in the Maurice Sider video, I ended up getting Vasili Podkolzin a test of 7 different categories, a grade from A+ all the way down to F to see how they fare. And those 7 categories are puck skills, skating, hockey IQ, shot, passing, defense, and physicality. Now, for the first category, that being puck skills, and thankfully for Vasili Podkolzin, this is where he dominates the most. His puck skills are absolutely explosive. He can use it at a lot of different points in the neutral zone, and especially in the offensive zone, where he just gets past defensemen very, very quickly. I think he's a very flashy guy, maybe not the flashiest guy in the draft, but when he needs to use his puck skills, he definitely will, and he'll also excel at it almost 9 times out of 10. Skating, and I give Vasili Podkolzin a B+. When I get into Vasili Podkolzin's skating, I think it's just slightly overrated, but he uses it very, very well and definitely to his advantage. Again, amazing puck skills, so he has to have skating to keep up with it, and he definitely does. He's a very fast guy when he needs to be, and again, he doesn't really have flashy skating, I wouldn't say. He's not going to rush past defensemen easily every single time, but he definitely has it in his arsenal and can pull it out every once in a while. On to the next category, that being hockey IQ, and I gave Vasili Podkolzin a straight A. When it comes to Podkolzin, he's one of the most smart players in this draft, especially when it comes to forwards. Offensively, defensively, and especially offensively, he used that to his advantage. Again, on top of fantastic puck skills, great skating, he's a very smart player, knows where to go and knows where to be. And when it comes to offensive skills, especially in the power play, that is what makes makes him most dangerous. Now for the next two categories, I'm going to group them both together, the shots and the passing. And I'm going to group them both together because they both got an A-. I think both qualities are very, very good tools in his arsenal. The shot, I think, can use some work, especially if he's going to be a sniper at the NHL level. But I think he definitely can use that amazingly, especially in the NHL someday. The passing also being an A-. He passes very, very well. On top of the smarts and the puck skills, passing also is another tool in his toolbox that he uses almost every single game. Again, the passing is fluent, it's on the tape, and it's almost perfect every single time. Now on to the next category, that being defense, and this is one of the Vasili Podkolzin's most interesting characteristics. I gave Vasili Podkolzin a straight B defensively, but I think he definitely can improve on that in the future. When it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, one of the main things you take away from his game is his effort level. He doesn't really take too many shifts off, and that does translate especially to his defense. It's a lot better than a lot of forwards can say, especially in the Russian Junior League. On to the next category, that being physicality, and this is where Vasili Podkolzin is also very interesting. I gave Vasili Podkolzin a C+, but he, again, kind of like the defense, he also can get better at that. He has a 6'1", 190-foot frame, so we can work on the physicality. I think when it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, though, one of the main things I take away from the physicality is consistency. He really doesn't bring the physicality that much to me. If he can really have that hard drive, especially physicality-wise, every single game, then that grade will definitely go up as time goes on. When it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, yes, he has a lot of strength in his game, but I think physicality, at least consistently, would be a strength to work on. When you take all those attributes and all those grades together, you get a pretty complete offensive guy that can definitely produce at the next NHL level. Now, when it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, on the surface, he might just seem like another Russian-born right-winger that's skilled and has those talents. And I think he does definitely have that to an extent, but I think you're kind of underrating him when you just say that, because he, when it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, has so much more to offer. He always works hard in every single shift. Most of the time, he's the guy going to the puck, actually making things happen. And that's what's most intriguing to me about Vasili Podkolzin, is how he works for it every single game. Yes, he already has the fantastic skills, but if he gets some more drive, especially at the NHL level, he should be a madman. Again, if he puts those tools together, he should be fantastic. And when it comes to the all-around package that you are getting, you're getting a guy that will compete every single game, will work hard, even though he has that Russian tag that he might not work hard. He does. One of the hardest working Russians I think I've ever seen. When it comes to when Vasili Podkolzin might make the NHL, we are at least 2 years away from seeing that happen. He has 2 years left on his SKA St. Petersburg contract, which means that it likely won't come over until after that. So, for Vancouver fans that want to see him next season or something, yes, it was a little crazy, but no, it won't happen. Vasili Podkolzin has said that he wants to honor his KHL contract, go there, and then go to North America, come to either the AHL or NHL, which, let's be honest, at age 20, when he is available for that, he'll likely be with the Vancouver Canucks in a probably middle six role, especially if they are in need of a skilled winger. Even if Vasili Podkolzin didn't have that 2-year contract, I still think it would have taken him 2 years to honor that contract and still come over. When it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, yes, I think he is a little more NHL ready than people might say, but I personally would still give him 2 years to develop in the KHL, even without that contract. And I think that contract might be good for him too. Again, I don't know if he'll want to move to North America in that time anyways, and in that time he can maybe learn a little bit of English, again, round out his skills and put it all together, and if he does, if he puts it all together in the KHL, gets some more KHL time, and puts it into North America, and around 19 or 20 years of age, goes to the Canucks, I can see him being a big riser, one of the premier rookies in that probably 2022-2023 season. There has been some concerns about him possibly staying in Russia long term, and I just don't see that happening whatsoever. In his combine, in the after the NHL draft, pretty much throughout the NHL draft, whatever he said has been promising towards him going to North America and him going to Vancouver Canucks. Again, I don't really see him staying long term. I don't see it being a Kirill Kaprizov situation where he stays until he's like 23, 24. I don't see that happening whatsoever with Vasili Podkolzin. While KHL and Russia will definitely want to keep him for as long as possible, I think he will come over to the NHL after that 2-year contract. I don't think anything will really stop him. He wants to make the NHL, he wants to play for the Vancouver Canucks, and in 2 years' time, he might as well, since they will probably be one of the better teams in the entire NHL at that point. When it comes to the Vancouver Canucks drafting him 10th overall, while I personally would have gone for a guy like Kaapo, number 10, 100%, Vasili Podkolzin is a very interesting pick, and it could definitely work out for him. Again, with Vancouver, they have an excellent track record of especially European prospects going into the system and developing well. You obviously got the Sedins, you got Pettersson right now, which is a pretty good player, by the way, if you haven't noticed. When it comes to Vancouver, again, their draft history, especially in the last decade, has been very solid. In the first round especially, guys guys like, again, Brock Besser, Bo Horvat, obviously now Vasili Podkolzin. They have a pretty solid track record right now, besides a guy like Jake Virtanen, obviously, but we'll forget about that for right now. When it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, though, when it comes to Vancouver Canucks especially, that's the type of team that I think will handle him right, develop him right, and could turn him into one of the NHL superstars. Again, they have the potential, they have that great development history. I think when it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, if there's any team that does develop him right, it likely is the Vancouver Canucks. When it comes to Vasili Podkolzin, in my final draft rankings, I had him as the 14th best prospect. Yes, technically taking him at number 10 is a little bit of a reach, but I think that's the type of reach that you do end up taking. It ends up working out for you. Again, Vancouver has a great track record when it comes to developing, when it comes to drafting, so I'm going to trust them here. And when it comes to the reach there, I think it is a little bit of a reach, but again, Vasili Podkolzin is such a boom or bust guy. He's the type of risk that you do take. Montreal already has a very solid young core of guys like Elias Pettersson, Bo Horvat, Brock Besser, Quinn Hughes, that and a guy like Vasili Podkolzin, you don't need for him to work out. It would be nice, but if he does develop well, he will be a first liner in Vancouver, and having him alongside of Hoglander and Pettersson should be nasty for years to come. When it comes to Podkolzin's peak with Vancouver Canucks, I think he'll do very, very well, especially in his prime. I can see upwards of 70 points potentially if they do develop him right and put him with some fantastic teammates. Again, Podkolzin with a guy like Elias Pettersson would just be a dream right there, skill-wise especially. And again, when it comes to Vancouver, they have such a great record draft-wise, such a great record development-wise, that I do trust them with this type of pick. It's a risk to take, but it's the type of one you do take, and it could pay off big time for the Vancouver Canucks. But of course, with this video, I need to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. So let me know what you think about Vasili Podkolzin and him going 10th overall. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Let me know. And of course, the question on to you, how good do you think Vasili Podkolzin will be with the Vancouver Canucks? If you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you can click on this card right here to watch my video about Moritz Seider and how good he'll be with the Detroit Red Wings. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on Vasili Podkolzin and how good he'll be with the Vancouver Canucks. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.